Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds. And despite me wanting it to be like a fun content week, yesterday we had Coot and his video and whatever he said about Liverpool and Young Club. And today we have some more bad news, and that is regarding Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold and their potential departures out of Liverpool this summer for free. For free, Harmony. Still can't get over that, but for free. Actually for free. So today's news, I'm going to go through both, and then we're going to talk about our opinions on it, and then our opinions on FSG and what we think they should be doing more and what needs to happen before it's too late. Obviously, the Trent situation, according to a Spanish, I think it's a Spanish radio, Cadena SCR, have said that Real Madrid know that Trent won't sign a new contract with Liverpool, so an extension, and they're ready to offer him a 4-year deal. So they're saying Trent didn't sign him.
Yeah.
I'll go on to the Salah one. This was Florian Plettenberg, again, another reliable journalist, saying still in talks, no agreement yet, but both parties, that means obviously that Salah's entourage and FSG's entourage are not in agreement. Nowhere near, far apart, actually. That's what they use. That's the word they used. And there's options for Salah in Saudi and in Europe.
Yeah.
So follow the big guns in Europe. So first question, are you actually worried yet? I was a little bit worry coming in. Is it starting to build up yet? No.
No, not for me personally, because I feel like us as Liverpool fans, we're very emotional fans. We all know that. We all know how we get, especially when it comes to our players, especially when it comes to our manager, comes to our club, and also when it comes to contract situations. We're very, very emotional. We literally react to any small news that comes out. Like, well, oh my gosh, like, what's going on here? Like, even though we don't know, we haven't really had the credible sources coming out saying anything, or we've seen someone, credible come out and say, something relating to the player or the situation. We're so quick to react to it because, to put it simply, I didn't want to get into this straight off the bat, but it's kind of like we have PTSD because of what we've kind of subjected ourselves to over the years with the way the ownership runs the club. So any news that we see that's negative, we're so quick to react to it. And
is it like you expected? Do you think you expect it a little bit?
Yeah, I think not. I think it's I feel like us as a fan base was so easy to kind of get a reaction out of us. In terms of any club knows that if we put this out there, these fans are going to react. This is going to put pressure on. Now they're going to start talking on social media and they're going to put pressure on their ownership. They're going to be talking all sorts. So I feel like it's easy to kind of get a reaction out of us. Like I said, it's all because the way we are being run over the years with the ownership and the way, how we kind of deal with transfers and contracts and everything like that. We're not like Man United. We're not like Man City. We're not like Arsenal, if that's another club. We don't give out big contracts to players unless they're like the likes of Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah had to have, like, God knows, 3 good seasons for him to get the money that he really wanted. You know what I mean? Virgil, I don't know if that his first contract was 200, but I think he's on 200 and something K right now. I'm not too sure how much he's on. Yeah. I don't know if that was his second contract that he signed or that was his first. And even if you look at the likes of Luis Diaz, he's only on like 70, 80K.
Yeah, 70K. Yeah.
So, and you're looking at Trent now, he's on like 180, 170 or something like that. So we don't give out massive contracts if you really think about it. We really don't. You got to earn it in terms of when we have to give it to you, we're going to give it to you if we're going to give it to you. So in that sense, I kind of get why there's kind of like, the commotion kind of is going all over the place when it comes to these 3 players, because we know how important they are to us. We know if we lose them, that is literally setting us back 5 years back. That's 5 years that's 5 years that we're going to be set back because it's not easy to replace these players.
And it's a lot of money to replace. It's a lot of money to replace them. So it's just, but yeah, they won't spend it. But that's the thing.
No, we won't.
It'll take us another 10 years to replace them.
We'll try find
Because
a diamond in the rough or someone that has a similar ilk of like quality to these players, but hoping that they reach the levels that these players reached. And that's a massive gamble if you're trying to do that because you don't know if they're actually going to reach that level or not. So that is why I say it'll be like a 5-year setback for us personally for losing those three guys. And so I'm not worried personally, but that's the concept of why I feel like a lot of fans are reacting the way they're reacting to any kind of news that comes out regarding these three guys.
it'd have been a lot easier though if we were able to spend a little bit more in summers and in transfer windows and get backup for these players and potential takeovers to these players. Where if these players to move on, we've got someone there to. Colin Bradley's obviously for Trent, but Trent's not one that he should be replaced anyway because Trent's like young himself. But like the Salah and the Van Dijk situation, we should have got their replacements not this time, even the season before, building them up into, learning off these players and then taking over them eventually. We're going to the summer now. If Van Dijk and Salah go specifically, we ain't got anyone
Exactly
there, and that's like what the fuck. No club should ever do that.
No, not at all. We shouldn't. I feel like us as Liverpool fans, we kind of did it to us. Not Liverpool, actually, not Liverpool fans. Us as Liverpool, the club, we did it to ourselves. We allowed Trent to get to the last year of his contract without even talking to him. We allowed Virgil to do the exact same thing. We allowed Salah to do the exact same thing. And it's just kind of negligent if you really think of it. Like if you know your big three players are coming the last year of their contract, you make sure that year you try to secure because or even wait if they have 2 years left, you try to renew their contract because you have
at least
leverage.
definitely.
No, you have the leverage because even if they don't want to sign, okay, fine. You can't leave the club for the next 2 years. It's either we sell you for a big amount of money and we try to recruit, or we sign a contract. But if you leave it to the last year, you're giving you're giving the players all the power because they can leave your club for free without them expecting anything back from you guys because they're gonna get all the things that they want from another club. You're not gonna get anything. You're gonna be left empty-handed, and you're gonna be looking there, sitting there looking like a mug because you literally lost on 180 million pound on a player that you could have got, that you could have signed their contract 2 years ago and secured that whole situation, and wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. So
It's funny when you
it's
said that.
our
It's funny you
fault.
just said that because the excuse that people use, the ones that don't want to criticise the club anything, the
Yeah,
excuse they used was Jurgen Klopp coming out and saying he's off, sort of threw a spanner in the works. But that was only a year ago.
yeah.
So they had time before, like you said there, they should have done this not last year, but the year before at least, because they could have had a time to sell. If they were going to sell them on, get the money, recoup the money in, we could have got Trent for what, 150 million? Easy.
Yeah. Easy.
And we turned down the 140 million for Salah, whatever it was. Big money offer, wasn't it, from Saudi? So, and this excuse of like, young Klopp threw a spanner in the works. No, these these boardrooms and these people in the background in the boardroom, the FSG, the people that run behind the scenes, like Gordon and Billy Hogan.
Yeah.
These are the ones that have kept the eye off the ball. These are the ones that have not really done their job. That's what it is, doing their job. And is it because they've been told to hire up, not to bother? Do they want to really pay out that money? And that's what it comes down to right now. That's what it's coming down to, is the money.
Yeah.
The Salah situation, both parties remain far apart. That's money more than anything. And the years that they're trying to go into. I think Salah wants 3 years, but they're wanting 2 years.
Yeah.
They're not wanting to pay out the money for 3 years, and this is what it is. They don't take a risk on a guy that's. It seems like it's in prime.
Yeah.
He's gone way past his prime, but you know what I'm saying. He's still in prime now.
No, for real. I feel like the Salah situation. I don't know if it's. I don't feel like his wages. I feel like his contract. His contract length. I feel like you said, he wants 3 years, and the club only wants to offer him 2.
Yeah, then they'll look at the amount of money they have to pay.
Yeah,
for 3 years.
You can also remember they can be like, okay, we'll give you the same wages, but we'll just increase the amount of bonuses that you get in terms of the amount of numbers that you get during the year. We'll increase that. That can be another package that I'm sure that Salah will probably take. You're getting the exact same amount of money, but the bonus that comes behind it, if you win a trophy, if you do this, we reach this number of goals and blah blah, you're getting more money out of that. And also, you gotta remember he's also sponsored by Adidas. Next year we got Adidas coming in, so that can be another perk that it can be like we could got Adidas coming in, we can add a little bit more money on your side. So there's so many things that they can work with when it comes to Salah and Trent as well because he's signed to Adidas as well. So they can do something with them too. But going back to Salah now, I feel like they want to give him 2 years because let's be honest. Yes, Salah is great right now, and we don't. I'm not gonna say that he next season is not gonna be the same guy, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that he is gonna be the same guy because we don't know. Because he's getting to that age where you start to slow down. Your body starts to regardless of how fit you are. Because Ronaldo, let's be honest, Ronaldo's one of the fittest football players you will ever meet in your entire life. But you saw that the age started catching up with him. It doesn't matter how much you know what I mean, how fit you keep your body or whatever. Age eventually starts to catch up with you. So that's what the club is kind of keeping in the back of their heads. Like, if we give this guy 3 years, and let's just for example, they increase his wages, we're gonna keep this guy for 3 more years. We're gonna be giving him ridiculous amount of money. No other club is gonna come in and take him off us because of the age that he is and the wage that he's on. So we're gonna have to keep him for that long. And on top of that, he might not produce the numbers that we need him to produce. You know what I mean? And that can stop us from actually going out and getting the next guy that we wanted to replace him with, or we wanted to sit behind him and learn from him. So there's a lot of things you can't understand. There's both sides of it. Yes, we want Salah to stay, but at the same time, you got to look at it from the club's perspective. You know
From a
what I mean?
business point of view,
Yeah,
but
their business point of view of it is that the club is going to be paying him a lot of money. He might not perform next season, and then the season after that, imagine if you have him for 3 years, he doesn't perform.
That's the risk
You're losing out a lot of
everyone
money.
takes, isn't it, in football. This is the risk you take in football. You're not guaranteed a transfer to work. You could pay £30 million, and it might be an absolute flop. He might pay £60 million, might be a flop. He might pay £2 million, it might be an absolute star.
Yeah.
This is the chance to take football, but right now, in terms of percentage-wise, is it going to work more for Salah than a transfer? It's likely to happen better for Salah because he's doing it. We're seeing the proof he's doing it right now for us. I mean, he seems to have gone to another level. He's got 10 goals and 10 assists this season in the Premier League. The haircut's done him. I don't know what it's giving him, some sort of kick up the arse or something. I don't know what it's doing for him, but it's giving him a rocket. And he didn't even need one, but he got it anyway. But I think, are they guaranteed to get someone else out there to replace that goals, replace the assist that he brings? Not really.
No.
Not really. And they're going to have to pay a shitload if they are, and that ain't going to happen. And what that is, you said it earlier on, it's going to set us back. It's going to set us back 5 years. If we lose Van Dijk and Salah, we could set back 5 years. That's being kind. Could set us back a while. And then that's why the likes of Trent are thinking, hang on, my future, is it looking good here? Yeah. It's looking good right now because we're top of the league. But they are thinking further on. They're thinking, hang on a second, if we're losing Salah and Van Dijk and FSG are willing to put the money behind, because we don't know where Caicedo money's gone anyway, because that's been lost in translation. Adidas, I don't know where that money's going to go, because that's a big new sponsorship deal. Because we get all this money, we don't see it. Yeah, we were getting in the green. We were getting the green in the summer where we bought basically no one. So if Trent's seen this, I'm thinking Trent, because it is more like the future. If Trent's seen this, why would he stay around when it's not the next 5 years? We have no Salah and Van Dijk. We're going backwards.
No, it's true. For me, I like I said, I get it from both sides. But as a fan, I just want them to sign so we can get over and done with, and so we can focus on the league and focus on actually trying to recruit in January. That's me. But at the same time, I've got to be realistic and look at it from the club side as well. As much as we don't like the owners, as much as we're kind of looking at them sideways, like, how have you allowed for your club, to get to this situation where you have
it shouldn't be this situation.
It should never have happened. How have you allowed this to happen? You know, yeah. So but I also got to look at it from their side. You know, the same situation with Virgil, the same thing I said with Salah. It'll be the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like they're thinking he might drop off next season. He might not be the same player next season. And then let's say we keep him for 3 years. I feel like out of all three of them, I feel like Virgil will sign first. I feel like he's the
I
more.
said that. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, he's the more. I feel like he's the more like reasonable. I feel like he's more reasonable when it comes to the wages and the length of the contract.
I've not seen anyone really linked to Virgil either.
Yeah, no,
not club wise.
So
they might be in January. Trust me.
January probably.
In January, they'll be lots after.
Yeah. But right now, I feel like he will be the most likely to sign first. But regarding the other two, it's more difficult because you got to look at it. Trent is looking at it. He's come out and said, I want to leave a legacy before I'm done. You know, a legacy that means trophies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's literally what it is.
He wants to win Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, he wants to win Ballon d'Or. Or he just wants to get to the highest level that he can possibly get. And you can't do that without trophies. You can't do that without assists, goals. You know, he's really broken the Premier League record for the amount of assists. So he's just trying to extend that at this point. But right now, all he wants to do is add more trophies to his cabinet. He's still young. He's thinking, I don't want to sit back in about 10 years' time, looking back at my career, thinking, I wish I could have done more. I wish I had more trophies. You know, I wish I had more memories with my team that were lifting up these trophies, getting to these finals, you know, challenging, doing all of these things. And you can't blame the guy for thinking like that.
No.
As a football player, that's what you want. You want to have long-lasting memory. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you can't blame him for thinking like that. So, and a guy in a place like Real Madrid, that's a club that's ambitious when it comes to winning. That's a club that's like, if they come second place, they feel like that's a disgrace. They feel like that's a spit in their face. You know what I mean? So they got to step up. They got to buy players. They got to make sure that next season they're the guys that are up there. They're winning the Champions League. They're winning the Spanish leagues. So when a player sees that, thinking, bro, like, I want to go there because I want to leave a legacy in my career when I leave, and this is a club that I can clearly see. If they come second, it's not good enough for them. First is either first or nothing. It's either a Champions League or nothing. And I like that. I want to go there. So I get why he wants to go there, or he would want to go there.
Do you think even if we were like challenging every single season and we weren't like willing to take back steps all the time, do you think that had changed his mind staying at Liverpool? And like, because us as fans, we don't expect to win the league every season, but what we expect as Liverpool Football Club, in terms of that, we're up there with Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Man United in terms of big size.
Yeah,
we should be challenging every single season for these big trophies.
Every single season, yeah.
And under FSG, we can't. It's impossible to do it under FSG. Yeah, Klopp saw that. And again, if we lose Salah and Van Dijk, again we're going backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
These players are ambitious players. Like Armin just said, it's a very, very short career. And the only thing that's keeping me like a little bit optimistic about Trent staying is the fact that he's a Scouser, and the fact that he wants to be a Liverpool captain. And you can tell he loves Liverpool. You know, it's like that Gerrard situation where he turned his head last minute, and he turned down Real Madrid, he turned down Chelsea, he turned down AC Milan, he turned down big names. So I'm sort of keeping optimistic slightly for Trent because of that similar reason. But again, I wouldn't blame him. I won't say I hate him. I'd be really disappointed if he did go. Because as a Liverpool fan, I'd play for Liverpool for 20 quid a week.
Yeah, no,
so, you know what I'm saying? So,
so
I would be disappointed, but I wouldn't hate him the way, because the lad's got a short career and he wants the best for him and his family or whatever. There's more to life than football, but I think he should stay. But my eyes are not going to be on the players. If any of them go, I ain't looking at them. I'm looking directly at John Henry and I'm looking directly at FSG.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking directly at. Because they're the ones that are not willing to pay a little bit more, offer a little bit more in terms of money. Because if you think about it, we're offering big wages to these guys, but we didn't fucking spend all in summer, so we saved a lot of money there.
Yeah, let's say the last 3 summers we have not spent big. If we're
So we're
really being
saving money
honest.
every single season, and we're getting
Yeah.
more and more and more. We're getting richer and richer and richer,
Yeah.
and we're not using it onto us. You know, it reminds me of. You know, what FSG remind me of the UK government,
Yeah.
because all prices of everything's going up.
Yeah.
Us as people that live in this country pay more and more and more. We're paying more tax. We're paying more on this. We're paying more for things around us. But our wages are staying
Down.
the same.
Yeah.
Down or staying the same. And that's exactly what FSG are doing. They get all this money, all this money, all this money, but they're not willing to spend it on a bit more on transfers, a little bit more on wages, but they're getting more and more. So it's for me, it's absolute greed.
Yeah, I feel look, it's just frustrating because I'm just looking at the whole situation. And I'm just like, like you said, if the players go, we can't blame the players. As much as we want to say, he's a scouts and loyalty. Look what Steven Gerrard did for the club. You got to remember, Steven Gerrard was close to leaving. Let's be real. He was close to leaving. He was literally close. Yeah. It was like the last ditch swing that kind of changed his mind. It was kind of like the Zubomendi situation. He was close to leaving, and then last minute he changed his mind. He's like, I don't want to go. That's the same thing that happened with Steven Gerrard. So he was tempted. And you understand, Steven Gerrard was wanted by Jose Mourinho everywhere he went. Even Zidane came out and said in an interview there was a play. He was the one guy that he told Madrid, go get him because I wanted to play alongside him. He's said it in interviews out there. So I'm not making these things up. So he's had opportunities to go to these big clubs, win trophies. Look, if Steven Gerrard went out here and he won these trophies, this conversation with Lampard, Scholes,
don't even be a thing, would they?
It would not be a thing. Let's be honest. It would not be a thing.
No.
The fact that he's even in this conversation and he's not won the amount of trophies that these guys have won, it shows you the levels of this guy and how good he was. So he could have done that, but he didn't. He chose to stay and kind of go through the rough times of Liverpool. We could have gave him a Premier League twice, 2020 in 2008 and in 2014, but we didn't. We messed up. You know what I mean? So he could have had 2 Premier Leagues, but things happen. You gotta understand that Trent is probably looked at that as well, thinking, "Wow, I've seen what Gerrard had to go through. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to deal with this. I just want to play my football. I just want to win trophies. I just want to leave a legacy." And if Liverpool and this club and these owners have shown me over the years that they have no ambition. The only time they showed ambition was when we sold Coutinho and they bought Van Dijk, Alisson, and Fabinho.
And won the Premier League, literally.
And won the Premier League. Won the Champions League, Premier League. You know what I mean? That's the only time they showed ambition to really be like, oh, wow, okay, we need to step up our game. That's the only time. Apart from that, we can't sit here and say they have shown ambition. Darwin Núñez was not ambition. He was a guy that we saw that, okay, he had potential. And then you clearly see that he's not good enough. If this club was serious, you would have got Gyökeres. Is it Gyökeres? I can't remember. Yeah. We would have sold Núñez. We would have been like, Núñez is in the market. We're selling him. We're getting this guy here because this guy is clearly not doing anything for us. But we haven't done anything about him. So I feel like he's looking at all of these things, and he said there's been plenty of times where Virgil's come out and said, "Oh, we need to sign players," and we haven't. Mo has come out and said we need to be more ambitious, and there's been players that have come out and spoke about these things, and nothing has changed. So you can't blame some of these players for wanting to or having the back in their head like, I want to leave because I don't want to sit at a club where they're so stagnant in terms of being ambitious in the transfer market and being ruthless when it comes to challenging. You know what I mean? So it's just annoying.
And the worst thing is because when we do make transfers, most of them are absolute hits.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing. We don't just do enough. I mean, this season it's looking good right now. They've got absolute steal there with Arne Slot. The fantastic work for Michael Edwards again. And it's shown that Michael Edwards can do his job, and I've introduced he can pull things out. And Michael Edwards has proven before that he can, with a bit of backing, he can get stars. And so we can, when we do the transfers or make transfers, we make some brilliant ones. Look at Diaz, Gakpo, sensational. McAllister, Gravenberch, sensational transfers.
Yeah,
we're just always left short. And I'm hoping this season, I'm hoping that doesn't bite us in the arse. And I'm thankful that Arsenal and City are messing up a little bit more, which helps us out massively. I think we can win the league this season, but we haven't done anything we can off the pitch to help Arsenal win the league this season. But we can still win the league this season.
No, 100%. 100%. We're definitely in that position where we can win the league. But it's also, like I said, it goes back to that ambition. Are the owners and the club going to look at that situation? Okay, these two teams who are meant to be challenging, who were actually meant to be behind this season because we got a new manager, we got to build the whole process again. They're actually struggling. They're not doing well. You know what? We got power under pressure. Let's go on January and get 2 more players. Let's get him a midfielder. Let's just say, for example, let's get him a defender, so he can go on and do what he needs to do.
It gives him the best tools here.
But are we going to do that, really?
Would win the league. If we went out and got a proper CDM like a Zubimendi, for example, not Zubimendi, but Zubimendi and then maybe a left back.
Yeah.
That'd increase our chances from 50% right now to about 80-90%.
Yeah. And you got to remember, once a new player comes onto the, like I've said it, I think I've said it to you when we were speaking on stream. Once you sign a new player, what it does, it just lifts up the whole club.
Yeah.
It really does. It just takes them to a whole different level. The players are looking at it. Okay, I got more competition. We got more quality now. I got to step up. I got to make sure I'm on point. That is what these transfers does. It's not just we want players for the sake of having players. We want players to compete and also to make sure the players that are at the club right now, they're stepping up their game because they know there's someone that's behind them that is just as good as them and that's going to take their place if they don't step up.
We've seen it before as well. When Gakpo came in,
we
had a big lift and the Gakpo, and that's when we went on that massive run, didn't we? We changed formation a little bit. Trent became inverted. Gakpo was a key part to that. Gakpo was absolutely key part to that when he played up front. So it's happened before. Diaz coming in, give Mane a lift. Tsimikas give Robertson a kick up the arse when he came in. So when people say, "Oh, transfers, oh, you want the transfers," but these transfers, what Virgil wants, by the way, as well, works because Virgil's seen it happen before. Is the reason why he's saying we need a little bit of help and we need a bit bigger squad. It was going to be a long season. He's not saying it for the laugh. He's saying it because he's seen it happen. He's a professional footballer and he's grown up on football like we have.
Yeah,
and it's proven to happen again. Those January transfers could be the difference between winning the league and falling out of the league, the title race. That's how key they are.
Yeah, it's that close, and it's difficult to see it. But I think we just need to resolve our situation with these contracts first of all. Yes, the reports. All I'm going to say to Liverpool fans is, don't fall for the bait. Madrid. Madrid has so much power when it comes to the media. They have so much influence, so they can go out there and say whatever they want to these journalists, and these journalists are going to lap it up. They're going to put it out there. All of this is doing is just putting more and more pressure either on the player, because the player's seeing, wow, like this club really wants me. They're really putting it out there. They're really making their intentions very clear that they want me. And what that does as well, it puts pressure on the club to give him what he wants, and it also gets the fans riled up like we are right now because we're annoyed because we've seen some news, and that's why we're making this video right now. But what I'm gonna say is just be patient. Let's wait and see what actually happens. There's 2 weeks of international breaks. Tomorrow things can change. Tomorrow we can wake up and see these guys are ready to sign their contract, blah blah blah. We don't know, you know what I mean? Like, so we don't know what could happen. It's just that let's just not overreact and bite on every single thing we see, because not everything we see is going to be true, especially when it comes to Spanish media. You just know Madrid is all over that. They're sending these things to these people and saying these things. So it's So when I see these reports, as much as it's annoying to see, I don't believe it until I see from the Liverpool camp or the Liverpool side comes out and says Trent is not, it's not ready. It doesn't want to sign, or Mo doesn't want to sign, or Virgil don't want to sign. Then it's panic station. But until then, let's just
good evening, ACDC. Hi everyone, love and respect. LFC need transfers and Trent and Salah. Without Salah, this team will be mediocre. I mean, I couldn't disagree more. Sorry, I couldn't agree more. I do apologize. I couldn't agree more with that, because I'm not saying it's going to be a mediocre side, though. I don't think
No,
it'll be a
not
mediocre
mediocre.
side, but it's a massive difference with Salah. If without Salah, we're seeing it. The amount of times he's saved us this season alone, and he's become literally part of everything we do now. And it seems to be like, it reminds me of how we used to use Bobby Firmino. I'm not saying he's playing similar because he has the goals as well, but Bobby Firmino was the system. It seems like every time we do anything good, it's through a lot of it's through Salah now. He's become a much more rounded player than what he was. With more goals and be the guide to the end of things. But now he's becoming much more of a creator. He's becoming much more of a... You see how many times he does outside of the boot pass now?
I know. He does it a lot.
And fun of it.
To be fair, like, it's not surprising because you really look at every single team has that. Madrid has Vinny. Everything has to go through Vinny. Vinny always has some sort of contribution in it. Arsenal, it is Odegaard. You can clearly see that. As soon as he's missing. City is Rodri. If it's not Rodri, it's KDB. You know, you can clearly see that. Chelsea is Palmer. If Palmer's not playing well, Chelsea's not really playing well. You know, and Liverpool is Salah. So every single team has this. So it's not really a surprise to me, but it's just annoying that we put ourselves in this position, man. That is just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, I don't know why we allowed it. I don't know why it's taking so long for them to resolve the situation. But also, another person we were forgetting, they're also trying to talk to Diaz about contract. Konate, there's another one. They were talking about contract. We don't know what's going on with that yet. Because they were saying that him and Kwanzaa were going to sign. We saw Kwanzaa sign his contract. We're still waiting for Konate's situation. We don't know what's going on with that. So there's still a lot that's going on behind the background. And to use Jurgen Klopp as an excuse to not secure these players is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It is, yeah, it is.
It's so dumb.
What I don't want to see, what I don't want to see as well, is if we do sign these 3 players on contract, I don't want to use that as an excuse for not signing someone next summer.
Exactly.
Because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. We're going to always spend a lot on that, so we ain't got no money now for transfers. Like we don't bring enough money elsewhere. Like Adidas deals nothing. Like the Caicedo when they're just gone. Like we didn't spend all it this summer. What was this summer's excuse? We certainly won't do contract for anyone. And also, I'm going to say something then about that. Yeah, I don't think that should happen. I don't think that should be an excuse in the summer. And what I need to see in summer is if we don't sign these 3 players, what I need to see in summer is drastic changes above.
Yeah.
Forget the transfers. Forget Salah replacement, Trent replacement, or whatever, or Van Dijk replacement. That needs to happen. I need to see fans sorting something out where these can't get away with it anymore.
No.
I'm tired of it. Because in a month's time, and they still haven't sorted the contracts out, or in January, they still haven't sorted the contracts out, fans are going to lose their patience quick. Yeah. Very, very quick.
And they should.
Even the FSG inners might even have to start admitting a little bit now. Yeah. They might have to start, hang on a second, and start holding banners up, because we're seeing it in the crowds now. The FSG banner, FSG saying, FSG give Salah what he wants. You know what I'm saying? They saw that big sign.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And you know, when it starts entering the grounds, that's when you know it's getting too far. And those that have protected FSG for so long, wow, they've got a lot coming to them.
No, for real. I feel like this is where I feel like if this situation gets out of hand, we all gotta come together and just protest. We all gotta protest. We all gotta be on the social media. I'm not saying customer.
You gotta hit them where it hurts, man. You gotta hit them where it hurts. That's the pocket.
Exactly. Nothing in their pocket is also their image. You gotta remember, FSG just want to make sure they have this sterling image that they're a well-run club, they're good bosses. And if you're on social media constantly bashing them, saying what the truth about them, they're not gonna like that. They're gonna have to come out and do something about it.
There's always PR. There's gonna be a PR.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't have to take fans to come against them for them to do something. It did it with the ticket prices. We did also they've gone back up with the ticket prices. They've changed them back to what they wanted to do. The Super League was another one. You shouldn't have to take fans turn on them for them to say, oh, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." It shouldn't have to. That should not have to happen.
No, they
should put the club first, regardless, and these players first as well. So it is starting to frustrate me now. I'm a massive fan of FFG. I'll praise them for things that they will do, but I know what their game's about, and I know that they're just money minded. I can't stand that. I can't stand the American business mindset. I can't allude to it. So for me, I think the pressure needs to hike up a little bit more, and I think it'd be boiling over. If these three go, it's going to boil over. I don't think there's going to be no protection left for them. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining in tonight. Thanks ACDC for getting your comment as well. Please subscribe to the channel ACDC if you haven't done already. If you are watching on record as well, please subscribe to the channel. Latest news, whatever you want. We've got brilliant, fun content as well this week. We started our quiz at the weekend with Cam doing our first quiz session. Ham, I don't know if you're going to do a quiz this week with me sometime. Round 1, Cam got 14 points. It's Who Am I is the first one. Mm-hmm. We played on our podcast where I give you clues of who would the player or who would the thing.
Oh
yeah. Music artist, we did a music artist one, didn't we? So it's Liverpool play. And so Cam's obviously done his first round. We also got Salah exclusive coming up, as well as Mamouche exclusive. Don't know if it's this week or next week. I'm going to interview someone about a Mohamed Salah exclusive as well. So please stay tuned. Notification bells on. It'll tell you when we are live. It'll also tell you when we've got a new video coming out as well. Thank you everyone for joining in, whether you're live or not. Have a great week, guys. Enjoy the international break, and make sure you stay tuned to Talking Reds.